welcome to another video, another tarot reading video. So we are going to go over the general energies for the entire month of January in 2023. Before we actually get started, I just wanted to mention some important dates that will be coming up in January that will kind of influence the overall energy. So first we're going to be having a full moon in Cancer on January 6th, which at the time of this video is only a few days away. So the sign of Cancer is really about motherhood, our emotions, and finding strength within our emotions. So that may be one of the influencing energies at this time. But then later in the month, we'll get a new moon in Aquarius, which is the sign of innovation and creativity and detachment. So those are going to be the two important dates to kind of look out for. But otherwise, let's get into the reading. Hello, my beautiful fellow Pisces. Welcome to your tarot reading for January 2023. We're just going to be going over the general energies using our oracle cards, and then we are going to do, we're going to draw tarot cards and do your most recent past, your present, your future, and then what advice the universe is giving you, and what are your thoughts and feelings at this current moment. And yeah, I'm so excited to do it for my fellow Pisces. Even though I am a Pisces, I will try to keep my energy neutral. I am a neutral vessel, so take it as it resonates, and hopefully you'll be able to find something that is worthwhile to you. So we will start with the literary witches deck. So what are the general energies for Pisces in January? What are the general energies for Pisces in January? Okay, I'll set this aside. I'm going to do the crystal deck. So what are the general energies for Pisces this one? The general energies for Pisces. Okay. So we will look at these oracle cards at the very end to help summarize the reading. So I'll put that off to the side, and then we will use the Tarot of the Divine to see what has been happening in your most recent past, Pisces. So what has been happening? Oh, this guy. Recent past for okay, sorry, the microphone unplugged for a second, so apologies for that. Maybe that might be some kind of energy that is coming through. Maybe something abrupt is gonna happen in January. I would take that, and you can take it intuitively or leave it if you want to, but I feel like that's good to mention. This one, and take this one. Okay. So we'll use the Tarot of, or the Kawaii Tarot to reach your present. And I'm sorry I stumbled over my words there. I got like a like buzzing sound in my ear, which also might be something. I don't know. I know my fellow Pisces are intuitive out there, so take the sign as it resonates. So, what is going on in the present? Present for Pisces. What's going on in your present, Pisces? Yeah, this guy. Okay. And then your future. So let's. Actually, I feel this guy really standing out. So what is going on in your future? We'll take this card, and then we'll take this card that's facing outwards. Okay. And then also apologies if you hear any other sort of noise in the background. I live with other people in my house, so I apologize. So we will finally have a look at what you are feeling in a moment. What are you feeling, Pisces? What's going on with your thoughts and your... So what's going on with your thoughts and your feelings? Also, I would like to note that one of the people who live in my house came in my room abruptly and kind of interrupted the energy flow that I had going on. I'm not gonna lie, so maybe there is some sort of disruption. I mean, just going from what has been happening since the start of the reading. So I mean, there are a lot of just like random little signs, little things that are happening, so that could be going on within the month of January. So now I will pick the cards at the bottom of the deck to form your advice pile, Pisces. So here is your advice pile, and we will set that over to the side along with your thoughts and feelings at the moment. And we will go over your past, present, and future. So what is happening in your most recent past? We have the Knight of Wands in reverse, but we don't take reversals, so there we go. Right? And we have the Seven of Swords. Wow, it's quite the scary shadow on there. And then we have Judgment in reverse, but we'll flip it. A lot of yellow and green and like beigey tones that I'm noticing. Like these cards really look almost as if they're a part of one big scene, which I find interesting. And so for your present, you have the Lovers in reverse, but we'll take it upright. Once again, seeing the yellows and the greens and the oranges. And I didn't notice this before, but these rabbits are sitting atop of some sort of volcano or like little mushroom cloud. And then you have the High Priestess in reverse, but there we go. And then you have Seven of Swords in reverse, but I don't think it's a coincidence that you have the Seven of Swords underneath the Seven of Swords. So your past bleeding into your present at the moment. And we will now shift these over just to make more room for the last three cards. So in your future, you have looks like the Four of Wands. And then you have the Five Five of Swords. Last but not least, you have the Six of Swords. Okay. So, definitely looking at your past, it seems like you had gotten like a burst of energy that was driving you or motivating you to do different things or to seek out new relationships or new opportunities, but then suddenly you became aware of all the trickery or the thievery or just sort of like weird energy that was going on as you went on your journey. And I say this because you see the wolf looking like almost confused or angry or puzzled or scared at this shadow of this man that is like not actually in the picture. And this may be you have undergone a task that you did not fully expect there to be these kinds of consequences or these kinds of emotions, or this kind of like negative energy. And so you've gone through judgment, and in the original judgment card, it's these people who are being called to go up to heaven from their coffins, but it's still up to them as to whether they're going to step out of their coffins and go to heaven or if they're going to stay here on earth and live in their comfort. But it looks like you've definitely passed judgment and you made a choice. You made a choice along with your intuition, but you're still feeling this residual energy of like thievery or like underhandedness going on. And I don't know if this this could be like a job. Maybe somebody at your work is jealous of the way that you do things because you do things in a special way and you're doing a great job. Or it could be in terms of like a relationship, like maybe you're seeing this guy but you get like a weird energy about him, and even though there's nothing like wrong with him on the surface, you can feel it in your intuition and your gut feeling that like he's not right for you. And this could even be like a family situation or a family argument. Like competitiveness is what I'm getting almost. But in your future, you are experiencing the Six of Swords and then the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is like victory. It's like a forced kind of victory though, which is why it's not necessarily seeming like, or it doesn't necessarily seem like a happy card, because it's like a victory with a sacrifice. You're sacrificing something else to get this victory. So maybe you I don't know, this energy is really kind of perplexing and odd, because here you have in your present that you're following your intuition, but there's this strange energy, and then you're having this victory over something. So I don't know if it's like because you want to get rid of this energy, maybe you're kind of like you made this choice with your intuition in order to better yourself, but because you are still experiencing this residual energy, you are forcing yourself to almost suffer or like to get over it instead of fully processing your emotions and finally moving away to calmer waters. Because in the original image, the Six of Swords means to ultimately move away and to move on, and the picture has a man pushing a boat because him and his family want to have a better life at the other side of the river. And you know, when they meet go the other side and move on. They achieve a happy life, a happy family. So that's really what I'm feeling here. So yeah, it's a very strange energy. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what, maybe it could also be that there are people hanging around you, or people wanting to like be in your friend circle, or wanting to be around you, but that makes you uncomfortable because in your gut you know that they may not have the best of intentions. So you're moving on from that, you're avoiding that, because you know that there's more to than what meets the eye with these people, and you just want to have your happy life and your happy family, and keep the things that are meant for you, or keep the people around you that see the best in you and support you. So that's what I see from your reading. I'm gonna clear the table and then look at what you're feeling internally, and then look at the advice, because maybe it might give some clarification on what this weird Seven of Swords, like tricky energy is, along with this very strange Five of Swords, like forced energy is going on. So yeah. Okay, Pisces, so I have your cards for how you're feeling internally. What are your thoughts? So the first card that we have is the Ten of Swords. Definitely a feeling of things ending, of something ending. And then you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, but we don't take reversals, so it'll just be the Three of Pentacles. And then the Hierophant, which wanted to come up in reverse, but we do not take it as such. So you're definitely feeling defeated over a past situation, or a past incident, or a past relationship, and so now you're just trying to move forward. And honestly, even though this is the Three of Pentacles, I feel like you're trying to work on yourself, and these three people are like three separate parts of yourself. I feel like your emotional, your spiritual, and your mental aspects of yourself. I don't really see this as being like working with other people, especially because of the weird like energy that's coming off of the Seven of Swords, which gives me an inkling that it has to do with other people. So you're mostly like focusing on yourself and working on yourself, developing the different sides of yourself and how they work and fit together, if that makes sense, because we all have different facets to our lives. So maybe you're trying to meld those facets in some sort of way, or get some clarification as to what your path is. And that also really stands out too within the Hierophant, because you see three, and so maybe threes might be something that are a number that's like important to you, because 1, 2, 3, you have him, and then the two priests or the two monks that are below him. So I feel it as like a conjoining of different aspects of yourself, which you are trying to develop throughout this sense of defeat, or this sense of loss. And it's important to note that the gentleman here lying, his hands form the shape of blessings. His hands basically sign blessings. So that means with an N, there's always a beginning. There's always a blessing to come. So let's look at what your advice says. So for the first advice card, we have the Seven of Cups. So illusions, definitely battling some sort of illusions, whether internal or external, with this weird Seven of Swords tricky energy, trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong, what's real and what's not. And then you have the Fool, so a new beginning falling under an ending, so an ending and a beginning, blessings, and a new start. And then you have the Princess of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords, and I can't help but notice how there is another set of eyes up here, and she's looking away, so almost as if somebody is watching her. So that just gives me the feeling that like people are watching you and what you're doing. Like I said from earlier, because maybe you're doing work or you're doing a hobby or you're doing something in such a way that people are just watching you and they want to know like what your secret is, and so you're cutting out the people with your sword of who don't serve you, or who are trying to get like a piece of your pie in a sense. And then last but not least, you have the Hangman, came up in reverse, but we'll flip it. And the Hangman is actually you. It's you're showing up here as the Hanged Man, because the Hangman is another card that represents Pisces. And so what the Hangman means is to let everything go, to release yourself to the universe, and that the universe will guide you towards what's meant to be. And maybe this is referring to the card from earlier, the Five of Swords, the forced victory that you've had. So don't try to force things, is what I can tell from the overall advice that's coming. You're allowed to cut people out who you think are not beneficial to you or your mental health, but if you're trying to force something to happen, stop doing it. Just let the universe take control, because the universe will guide you out of all of these illusions that you're seeing, all these forms of trickery, and ultimately give you a new beginning or a new blessing. So to kind of summarize this, we'll go over the oracle cards, the literary witches. So first you have Emily Bronte, which is fantasy, which I can't help but feel harkens back to the Seven of Cups, illusion, fantasy. And then you have Teacup, so a lot of cup energies. So a cup here, a cup here. And then for your crystals, you have the Black Obsidian, which is strength, support during changes, everyday stress relief, and clears negative energy. So clearing out all the negative energy that's around you, Pisces. And then lastly, we have Amethyst, which is spiritual insight, creativity, psychic protection, and courage. And Amethyst, another cool thing about Amethyst is that I don't know if these studies are 100% correct, but it's been said that Amethyst protects your third eye chakra, so your ability to be intuitive, and it gives you that protection. So maybe it's really hearkening you to protect yourself at this time, and just to clear out all of the negative energy and to maintain your strength, in terms of, you know, just like taking care of yourself, or maybe keeping strength in the ideas that you really believe in. So we will look at the entries for Emily Bronte and the Teacup in the Literary Witches Oracle Book Guide, before we have some closing words. So Emily Bronte stands for fantasy, dwelling, indulging, hiding in fantasy. So Emily Bronte spent her uneventful life at the family home on the moors. She created fantasy worlds and, with her brilliant sisters, pushed the carpet and took walks in the hills. After her death of tuberculosis at age 30, she achieved posthumous fame for Wuthering Heights, a vicious novel of romance between two isolated, stormy characters, Catherine and Heathcliff. And then you have Teacup, which is ease, rest, and small mind. So maybe what it's asking for you by showing us these cards, and the Seven of Cups, really is to kind of snap out of whatever fantasies you may have. And that also might be where this trickery and this sense of illusion is coming in, because maybe you think that this relationship that you've been hoping for is better than what it is in reality. And so really snapping out of that sight and expanding your mind to other things that are just as equally important in your life. So yeah, that's all I'm really getting from the rest of these cards. I hope you were able to find something that resonates. Remember, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you so much for stopping by, my fellow Pisces, and yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful day.